8 cars hit the track and only 4 will move on. This is round 1 of event 2 in season 1 of the Next Gen Piston Cup series at the double jump track 4-car racing. Let's jump right into it. Before we do, make sure you subscribe and smash that like button. It's free, doesn't cost you a penny, and we've got plenty of high quality racing coming your way. Now let's get into the lineup of Group 5 to see who's about to hit the track. Richie Guns It here, who qualified 2nd overall next to McQueen. And are those paper clips painted on the rear quarter panel? Someone let me know in the comments. Of course, Cam Spinner in the frosty blue paint job. Hopefully, he's got the ice cold competitive edge along with it. Now here's Chase Race-A-Lot. Hopefully makes it further into the event, or we're gonna have to call him Race a Little. Last but not least, Chris Roman, who I'd like to see go far so my fellow men out there can think about him as much as the Roman Empire. Now to the top of the double jump track we go, and race 1 is set to launch. All 4 cars revved up and ready to go, screaming off of that jump now, and it's Race-A-Lot landing on the rail. Chris Roman sideways getting shoved along. Up front we got Guns It leading the pack, followed very closely by Cam Spinner, who is flooring it to catch up. They're on the final straight now, and they're gonna swap sides. An opportunity for Cam arises. They blow through the barrels. We're gonna need to see that one again. Thankfully, we have multiple camera angles for the photo finish. Let's see what happened here. And it was tight, but Cam did impact the barrels first. What do you know? That was a fantastic come from behind moment. Remember, folks, up top, we got the score posted, and the top 2 drivers are the ones who move on. With each group getting 4 races, you never know what's gonna happen until the final checkered flag. Now, moments like this are what separates the good drivers from the great ones. Cam was not afraid to take a chance and move around the block attempt by Guns It to take that first race win. Now, with these 4-car races, there are multiple storylines in each run, so you gotta pay attention to everything, not just what's happening up front, as every position is gonna matter when it comes to points. And look at this, Race-A-Lot spins around Chris Roman, who is now going backwards and flips over. But look at this, Race-A-Lot is not done yet as he pulls right past Cam like he's sitting still, and he takes that race 2 victory. Oh, now look at this, we got Chris Roman and Richie Guns It, who did not finish. Guys, that is a 0 for both of them in terms of points, which is why it is so important to finish the race no matter what position you're in. With 2 races completed, look at the gap between Chase Race-A-Lot, Cam Spinner, and the rest of the field now. It is starting to build, which is not good news with only 2 races to go. The cars have rotated starting positions once again as they do each run down the track to ensure fairness, and a bumpy landing for everyone introduces chaos. Chris spun off the guardrail, Race-A-Lot popped to 180, somehow gets turned back around before jump 2. Race-A-Lot still in the lead. Things are staying interesting as Chris is in reverse, following him, takes 2nd there, and here comes Richie Guns It. But where is Cam Spinner taking his sweet old time? Come on, Cam, people are waiting for you. Ah, there he is. Nice 4th place. Let's look at the replay here. Things were definitely chaotic, but somehow Chase Race-A-Lot was able to clinch his entrance into the next round. There's one more race to go for Chris or Richie to try and sneak in. They're gonna need a win with Cam finishing last or DNFing. We've seen stranger things happen, so it's definitely not out of the equation for something crazy like that to occur. Now into race 4 we go. Let's see what happens. Cam is starting in the back, which definitely helps our stragglers out. And look at that, he just hops his tail right up and over Cam. Cam is in last place right now, and over the top of Race-A-Lot is Chris Roman. Now, I'm no astronomer, but the stars seem to be lining up. Look at that collision, though. They went butt to butt, and here comes Race-A-Lot shoving Chris Roman across the line. That is exactly what was needed to happen to tie up those points. Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly what I was talking about. You can never count anyone out. There comes Cam finally across the line, and here are the points up top. Take a look at Chris Roman with 10 points now tied up with Cam Spinner. Cam went last place in his last 2 runs down the track, and that resulted in him now having to fight for his life to move on in a group of tiebreakers. The tiebreaker will be handled in a best of 3 to decide who takes that 2nd place position to move on. We've got Cam, who started off hot with the 1st place run, but then Roman, who ended the 4-race series with a 1st place victory. Now look at how shiny these cars are, all turtle waxed up and ready for the big old tiebreaker. If you haven't hit the subscribe, now's a good time, and let's take it to this double track. A huge nosedive out of Cam, and Roman just edges forward past him. But that's not sitting right with Cam as he shoves him along and up onto the guardrail, and ahead he goes as Cam Spinner takes a heroic lead and blasts through those pillars. Tiebreaker round 1 goes to Cam Spinner. Let's see if Roman can hang in there or if Cam puts him away in tiebreaker round 2. Just ahead now is Chris, but he spins around a 180. Now he's going backwards off the second jump, and Cam hit him mid-air collision. It looks like Roman's still able to maintain the lead in reverse as he blasts through. My goodness, he just like launched off of that cone. That was incredible. It doesn't get much more exciting than this as they're tied 1-1 going into the final of the tiebreaker. Chris Roman is out to an early lead, but guys, we saw in that very first race that Cam's spinner is not one to count out. He was able to claw his way right back in, and he's trying, but he got blocked there by Chris, and it looks like Roman's gonna run away with it and take the tiebreaker victory, and now he is gonna be moving on to round number 2 with Chase Race-A-Lot. Oh look, it's our Group 6 drivers. Obviously Jackson Storm looking to bounce back after his Event 1 performance, and then there's Joey Go Logano, themed after the stock car driver Joey Logano. Michael Roeder, who had the worst qualifying time of Event 1 and sitting dead last in season points, needs to pick it up. And last but not least, we got Noah Gocek, who has checked out his opponents already and seems to think he's gonna do pretty well. We'll see about that. Now, I'm sure that you all are wondering just how well Jackson Storm is gonna do, as I am. He's kind of like the anti-hero, the anti-McQueen, if you will. So everybody wants to know what's up as he spins around. He's now doing it backwards, but here comes Joey Go Logano, and he's looking to squeeze by Storm, but he couldn't get it done. Oh, and he goes for the second attempt to pass, and that time he makes it, and he puts Jackson Storm in his place, in second place that is. Now let's take a look at the replay. Jackson Storm had a crazy first jump as he got spun around there, and then right here, I thought that Logano was gonna literally fly over Jackson Storm with how much height and speed that he had, and of course, when he steals away the victory, everybody's minds were probably blown just about like mine was. Back up top, they've rotated starting positions. Joey Logano up front with Noah Gocek, and guys, the thing about these 4-car races is those jumps are wild. You never know what's gonna happen as they're all bumping each other, and look at this, Joey Logano is gunning it right now off the guardrail, trying to pass Michael Roeder since he passed him up at the start. Now they're neck and neck going towards the finish line. Who just took second and who took third? We are gonna have to check out the finish line camera for this one. Noah Gocek had the outright first place, but these two, and it looks to me like Michael Roeder got it. The track officials, they did end up giving the edge to Michael. I just heard it over the comms, but you know that call is going to be controversial no matter how you slice it. At this point, I want you to direct your attention to the top of the screen and look at this point spread. Only 3-point differential between last place and first place. When I say that it is truly anyone's game right now, it really is. We have no idea who's going to take those top 2 spots and move on to round 2. Back to the track we go. Let's get up top where race 3 is underway. Even though the point spread is close, Storm is in last, and that's no bueno considering how he's been doing lately as he sits 25th overall on the season. Now this is a tight grouping, but it looks like we got a little bit of a breakaway. Of course, just as I say that, Roeder is sideways now, and he gets slammed into by Gocek. It turns him straight, and he is on his way to the finish line. Jackson Storm also pulls ahead of Gocek into second place there, and this point spread is still only 3 points between last and first. I mean, Michael Roeder with the first place there was able to really solidify himself at the front of the pack, but it's still anyone's game. It is not getting any easier for any of these competitors as they head into the 4th and final race. What do you think's gonna happen? Will Jackson Storm somehow claw himself out of last place? Will Roeder defend his spot? Enough speculation, I guess, because these cars are ready to put it all on the line in race number 4, and away they go. They've got speed, and a huge jump off the mega ramp puts Jackson Storm off to an early lead. It looks like he's sick and tired of sitting 4th. About time he does something about it, huh? Off the second jump, Storm grinding the rail Tony Hawk style. Roeder just behind him gets blasted by Logano on the curve, and it sends Roeder into a speedy backwards pursuit of Jackson, but he had no chance at catching up, and that, my friends, is how the cookie crumbles today. Now, I'm no mathematician, but I do believe that puts Roeder in first place, but who else is moving on? It's gonna be Jackson Storm with 12 points. He was able to finesse his way into the next round from 4th to 2nd on that last run. 2 more groups to go for round 1. Be sure to like, subscribe, and check out some more Event 2 races here. Have a great day, and we'll see you back on the track.